special night with us. When I was thinking about ways to talk about our years of Blessed Sacrament, an interesting thought hit me. We will never have a graduation for so much school again in our entire life. 4 years of high school, 4 years of college, maybe medical school or law school. All three fathers would be happy to hear me say, maybe even some seminary for us. But there will never be another time when any of us will graduate from 9 more years of school. That's a really long time. Not only is 9 years such a long time, but these particular 9 years took up such a formative time for us. Most of us started at Blessed Sacrament when we were toddlers, too young to remember what was going on. Now, we're teenagers, young ladies and gentlemen who are one step closer to growing up. It's hard to think of a single theme or a single thought that can cover that much time and so many experiences. But I think I've got one. In the 3rd grade, our ever-talented, amazing music teacher, Mrs. Maloof, allowed us to perform in that year's spring musical, Susical. It was our first experience being part of a play with a story. And many of us can remember the stories that were in that play from before we were at Blessed Sacrament. The lessons that we learned from Dr. Seuss remain important to us even today. I'd like to talk about 3 of those lessons tonight. The first lesson is from an old-time classic, Horton Hears a Who. That's because when we were kindergartners at Blessed Sacrament, we were the Who's. We had a whole world of our own with Mrs. Porter and Mrs. Meisner. We were small and scared, and none of the older kids really liked to listen to us that much. But the great thing about Blessed Sacrament is that we had Hortons. Our teachers were Hortons. They taught us about the world outside and about everything in general, and they were there to help us and protect us from the big, bad, mean kids. Our 6th grade buddies were also Hortons because they were the older kids that listened to us and helped explain things about Blessed Sacrament, from how to pray in Mass to how to be friendly to someone who's younger than you. Because, as we all learned from Horton Hears a Who, a person's a person, no matter how small. The second lesson comes from another great classic, Oh, the Places You'll Go. This might be the greatest graduation book for anyone. It describes exactly where we are today. Thanks to the guidance and support of our parents and teachers, we are ready to transition from having our paths set for us to setting our own paths in the world. We have brains in our heads, we have feet in our shoes. We can steer ourselves any direction we choose. That's not to say we won't face some challenges. As Dr. Seuss notes, all of us can expect to top all the rest, except when we don't, because sometimes we won't. Hard choices and slumps will face all of us from time to time. The important thing to remember during those times are the lessons that we learned at Blessed Sacrament. And with that in mind, do you think we'll succeed? It's 98.75% guaranteed. Class of 2014 will move mountains. The third lesson comes from a quote that is not in any of Dr. Seuss's books, but I think it may be the most important lesson for us tonight. Dr. Seuss wrote, "Don't cry because it's over. Smile because it happened." It could be so easy for all of us to feel sad about moving forward. This may be our last Mass altogether. We will no longer see each other every morning and every afternoon. We will miss all of the wonderful times we had together. But instead of thinking about what we'll miss, we can smile with gratitude that we have had such a nurturing community of faith, led by Father Cregan, Mrs. Garcia, and our amazing teachers. We can smile with gratitude that we have our loving families and parents who cared enough to send us to our school. And we can smile in gratitude that we have each other. The friendships that we will always remember as starting at Blessed Sacrament, but continuing for the rest of our lives. In this spirit of gratitude, I would like to thank everyone here and everyone who helped make our class time here so special. I would especially like to thank my lovely parents and my whole supportive family. And to my friends, my classmates, the class of 2014, I would say in the immortal words of Dr. Seuss, today is our day. Our mountain is waiting, so let's get on our way. Thank you, everyone, and congratulations, class of 2014.